Restoring echoes. Characters. Maya, a talented architect who seeks closure from her traumatic past. Lila, Maya's supportive girlfriend, fiercely loyal and compassionate. Renee, Maya's childhood friend whose tragic story haunts her memories. It had been 2 decades since Maya had last set foot in Willow Creek Manor, yet the haunting structures felt familiar, like a ghost from the past rearing its head. As they approached the old estate, Maya's grip tightened on Lila's hand. It felt like a lifeline amid a turbulent sea of memories. Shadows of laughter, beneath layers of dust, drifted through the halls like whispers, both comforting and chilling. "Just remember, I'm right here with you," Lila whispered gently, her warm, soft voice wrapping around Maya like an embrace. Maya's pulse raced as the memories threatened to engulf her. "I thought I was ready for this," Maya replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "But standing here, facing it all, I didn't expect the pain to slam back like this." Lila stepped closer, her dark brown skin contrasting beautifully against the pale lavender dress she wore, which danced softly with the breeze. "Just breathe, love. One step at a time. We'll get through it together." Maya looked down at their linked hands. Lila was her anchor, always guiding her back from the edge. She took a deep breath, and with tentative steps, they crossed the threshold of the manor, its chipped paint and ivy-laden walls standing as mute witnesses to the terror that had unfolded here. As they wandered through the dusty rooms, Maya avoided the relics of her past, the faded photographs on the wall, the tattered curtains. She had made a promise to herself never to revisit those memories. Yet the echo of laughter lingered, a nostalgia that was bittersweet. "Tell me about the room, Maya," Lila prompted gently as they paused in front of a particularly ornate door. "Which one haunts you the most?" "Room 304, Maya said, her voice cracking. "That's where I lost her, where I lost Renee." The air in the manor thickened with resigning grief as she closed her eyes against the flood of memories, Renee's laughter, her bright smile, and ultimately, the fear that had broken them apart. Lila squeezed Maya's hand. "You can face it, I promise. Just like we practiced. Let's go in and see." With an almost tangible heaviness weighing on her heart, Maya pushed the door open. The room was dark, the walls soaked in shadows. Distant echoes echoed off the walls, and for a moment, Maya felt herself transported back to that fateful moment. There was Renee, sitting on the edge of the bed, eyes filled with torment. The past played out in vivid color. The nurses had come, shouting orders, their faces blurring into a chorus of confusion, chaos, and loss. "Maya," a voice called out as if time had folded in upon itself. In her mind, she reached for Renee, yearning for connection, for understanding. "Help me." The scene erupted in staccato flashes, the look of defeat on Renee's face, the moment she had chosen to escape their oppressive reality. A shattering scream escaped Maya's lips, piercing through the unsettling silence of the present. Lila instinctively wrapped her arms around Maya, grounding her in reality. "It's okay. It's just the memories. You're safe," she whispered, rocking them gently. Maya closed her eyes, trying to acknowledge the whirlwind of emotions swirling within her. "I should have protected her," she sobbed, feeling the weight of helplessness settle in her chest. "She knew how much you loved her," Lila reassured, tilting Maya's chin up so their eyes met. "She would want you to remember the love, not the pain." Maya inhaled deeply, letting Lila's words anchor her. As she opened her eyes, the room shifted, dissolving the haunting images into soft focus, releasing her from the grip of despair. There was no more chaos, just a profound sense of loss. The memories hurt, but they were also cathartic. "I miss her so much," Maya whispered, staring at the empty space on the bed where Renee used to sit. Tears flowed down her cheeks as she felt the flicker of understanding. She didn't need to forget, she just needed to honor Renee's memory. Reluctantly, Maya stepped away from the past, and together, she and Lila left room 304 behind. They wandered back into the main hall, where sunlight flooded through cracked windows, illuminating the dust motes suspended in the air. "From this day forward," Maya said, determination rising in her voice, "this manor won't just be a place of sorrow. We'll restore it together." Paint it with new colors, celebrate life here. It can be a sanctuary for others, a place where people can be truly free. Just like Renee wanted. Lila's eyes sparkled with pride. Exactly, she replied. This place can become a beacon of hope, a vow to never let fears silence love again. As they made their way back to the entrance, hand in hand, Maya felt the shadows of the past recede. There was room for healing, for love, and perhaps even for joy amidst the echoes. With Lila by her side, she knew she had the strength to transform despair into something beautiful. Let's get to work, shall we? Maya smiled through her tears, looking forward instead of back, ready to honor her past and embrace her future. With a shared purpose igniting their spirits, Maya and Lila stood at the entrance of Willow Creek Manor, ready to embark on a journey of restoration and healing. The air, once stagnant with echoes of despair, now buzzed with potential. First things first, Lila said, her voice filled with enthusiasm. Let's sketch out a plan. We need to decide how we'll breathe life back into this place. Maya nodded, her heart swelling at the thought. I want to transform the rooms, but not erase their history. Each space should reflect resilience and love, like a tribute to those who suffered here, she explained, her mind racing with ideas. They set up a makeshift workstation on the old wooden table in the parlor, surrounded by dust-covered books and fading photographs. As they sorted through renovation ideas, Maya's fingers traced over the yellowed corners of the documents, unearthed memories of community meetings and planning processes from decades ago, remnants of a hopeful future that had never materialized. What about converting the old rooms into a retreat? Lila suggested, her eyes glinting with inspiration. A safe haven for LGBTQ+ youth who need a place to heal. That would be perfect. We could create workshops, counseling spaces, and art studios, Maya responded, the excitement bubbling within her. Let's honor those who lived and loved here by giving others a home. As they brainstormed, the manor transformed in their minds into vibrant spaces filled with laughter and creativity. With each idea shared, they felt the weight of their past dissipate, replaced by hope for the future. All right, how about we tackle the lobby first? Maya proposed, her fingers dancing over a sketch of the main entrance. We could strip the walls back and reveal the original wood. Some colorful murals would brighten the space, maybe something that reflects love in all its forms. I love that, Lila agreed. And we could add a cozy reading nook over there by the window. The sunlight would be perfect for curling up with a good book. Their laughter filled the space, transforming the emptiness into a home once more. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, casting warm golden hues through the windows, they cleared the first few bags of debris and clutter. The work was healing. It was as if they were sweeping the past into the past and making way for a bright future. After several hours of dedicated labor, Lila brushed her hair back, revealing beads of sweat on her brow. How about a break? I'm starving, she said, glancing around the room for inspiration. Did you find any hidden treasures in the kitchen? Maya's eyes sparkled with mischief, and she led Lila through the dimly lit hallway toward the kitchen, brushing her fingers against the peeling wallpaper. As they entered the room, they stood in awe at the sight of an old, vintage stove and a rustic table, their surfaces dulled by years but still brimming with potential. Wow! Lila exclaimed. This could be a communal kitchen where people can gather and cook together. It'll bring some life back to this place. Maya rummaged through the cabinets, pitch-lining them until she unearthed a couple of mismatched mugs, a smeared set of plates and an ancient teapot. Perfect. An eclectic vibe always feels welcoming, she laughed, holding the teapot up like a trophy. Here, we can have tea and snacks while we brainstorm more ideas, Lila suggested, carefully pulling out tea bags and cookies from her bag. And how about some music to keep us energized? As Lila rummaged through her phone, Maya set about filling the kettle and placing it on the stove. The familiar sound of boiling water punctuated the stillness of the house, almost like a heartbeat. Moments later, Lila's phone filled the kitchen with soft indie music, an inviting backdrop to their ongoing project. With steaming cups in hand, they clinked their mismatched mugs together in a celebratory cheers. To love, resilience, and new beginnings. Lila declared, her grin infectious. To love, Maya echoed, her heart filled with gratitude. They sipped their tea in silence for a moment, appreciating the warmth that enveloped them, a stark contrast to the chilling memories that had clouded this manor for so long. As they finished their break, a wave of determination washed over Maya. Let's go back to room 304, she said suddenly. I want to write a letter to Renee, to declare our vision for this place. It needs to feel her spirit too. Absolutely, let's do it. Lila agreed, her eyes shining with support. Back in the room, Maya sat down on the floor, hands resting on her knees, and opened her heart with pen in hand. Words flowed like a river as she wrote, detailing her hopes and dreams for Willow Creek Manor, pledging to honor Renee and everyone who had suffered within these walls. Lila sat beside her, quietly listening, her presence a solid reminder of how far Maya had come. After a while, she spoke softly, "You're healing, you know that. This isn't just for Renee. It's for you, too. All of it." Maya's heart swelled with emotion as she looked up at Lila. "You've shown me what love can truly be. Without you, I might have locked those memories away forever." Lila leaned closer, brushing a strand of hair behind Maya's ear. "You're stronger than you realize. Together, we'll turn this place into a sanctuary that celebrates love in every form. We'll make sure no one feels alone here." With renewed energy, they spent the rest of the evening painting, sketching, and sharing stories. The once gloomy walls began to fill with potential. As they laughed and worked, a sense of belonging began to seep back into Willow Creek Manor. When night finally fell, they stepped outside, looking up at the vast, star-studded sky. "One day, this place will be alive with people, laughter, and love," Maya said, entwining her fingers with Lila's. "And it'll all start with us," Lila added, squeezing Maya's hand. "The echoes of the past will become a symphony of voices calling for acceptance and freedom." Maya smiled, her heart swelling with hope. With Lila by her side, she felt ready to reclaim not just the manor's history, but also her own. Together they would craft a new narrative, one of resilience, healing, and love in all its beautiful forms. The next morning dawned bright and clear, the sun spilling golden light through the dusty windows of Willow Creek Manor. Maya and Lila stood at the front steps, armed with tools and an unwavering sense of purpose. "Today is a day for action," Maya declared, her eyes sparkling with determination. "We should start with the lobby. A fresh coat of paint and some encouragement to clear out the clutter will set the tone for everything else." Lila nodded enthusiastically, her energy palpable. "Let's do it. I can't wait to see how this place transforms." As they headed inside, they came across a hidden door at the far end of the hall that Maya had never noticed before. Intrigued, she turned the handle, and it creaked open to reveal a dark, narrow staircase leading down into a basement. "Should we?" Lila asked, a mix of excitement and apprehension in her voice. "Might be full of treasures, or at least old furniture we can restore," Maya replied with a grin. "Come on, let's take a look." They crept down the creaking steps, the air growing cooler and mustier with each step. At the bottom, they found a sprawling basement filled with dusty boxes, old furniture, and forgotten memories. Shelves lined with jars filled with strange substances caught their attention, remnants of a time long gone. "Whoa, this is like an archaeological dig," Lila exclaimed, her eyes wide as she pulled the lid off one of the jars. "What is this stuff? Let's hope it isn't anything too bizarre." Maya laughed, shining her phone's flashlight around the room. "Look over there." She pointed to a stack of old chairs and tables, all covered in dust but still sturdy. As they sifted through the items, Maya's fingers brushed against a faded quilt tucked away in a box. Its colors, though dulled, still held vibrancy. "This could definitely work as a centerpiece for one of the rooms," she said, carefully pulling it out. Lila switched on her phone's flashlight to examine the fabric. "It's beautiful, Maya. Just like the stories woven into it, kind of like what we're doing with this place." A sense of warmth washed over them, enveloping them in a cocoon of creativity. They continued rummaging through the basement, occasionally lifting bits of furniture and forgotten belongings that spoke of the lives once touched by this house. Feeling exhilarated from their discoveries, they finally decided to head back upstairs, dragging their finds along. Morning turned into afternoon as they painted the lobby, blending bright colors of teal and coral, the mood transforming the space. Each stroke of paint felt like a layer of joy creeping back into the manor's heart. The two echoed laughter back and forth, overwhelmed by the sense of purpose igniting within them. "You've got paint on your nose," Lila teased, reaching out and gently smudging a streak across Maya's cheek. "Oh, you're going to pay for that later." Maya laughed, playfully swiping her paintbrush against Lila's arm in retaliation. As they splattered color across the walls, Lila paused, her expression growing serious. "How about we write messages on the walls as we go? Something uplifting, something that honors all the love that has been in this house." Maya's heart swelled with the idea. "Let's do it. We can include affirmations, quotes about love, and things we want to portray through the retreat." The two spent the next hour crafting messages of empowerment and love, scrawling things like "You are enough" and "Love is love," their handwriting shaping the very foundation of the space they were revitalizing. Just as they finished hanging a vibrant quilt above the fireplace, a sudden knock echoed from the door, pulling their attention. "Who could that be?" Lila asked, exchanging curious glances with Maya. Maya shrugged. "Let's find out." They opened the door, revealing a group of local artists and community members, intrigued by the commotion emanating from the manor. "We heard what you're doing here, and wanted to lend a hand," one of them said, holding up an assortment of paintbrushes and art supplies. "Seriously? This is incredible," Maya exclaimed, stepping aside to allow them in. "We've got so much to do, every pair of hands helps." Motivated by the lively energy of supporters, everyone dove into the restoration efforts. Lila coordinated art projects, some painted murals of nature around the windows while others refurbished old furniture. Hours melted away as the group worked collectively, laughter and creativity blending into a beautiful symphony echoing through the halls. With every brushstroke, they filled Willow Creek Manor with a sense of identity that had long been forgotten. As evening approached, they gathered in the lobby, admiring each other's progress and celebrating newfound friendships. "Let's have a potluck dinner to honor the spirit of community," a woman named Tara suggested, her face glowing with excitement. "That's brilliant. Everyone can bring a dish that means something to them," Lila added, her enthusiasm mirrored in the eyes of the group. The proposal ignited an explosion of enthusiasm as the details flowed. They planned the gathering for the following weekend, inviting even more members from the community to join in. "This will be our first formal event." Maya smiled, grasping Lila's hand tightly. "It'll be a celebration of all the love we've put into this place, and the people who have supported us along the way." As they wrapped up the day, Maya looked around at the newly brightened lobby, now filled with splashes of color, life, and possibility. "This place has transformed more than I could have ever imagined," Lila whispered, resting her head on Maya's shoulder. "I feel it too," Maya replied, breathing in the atmosphere that now shimmered with hope. "We're not just restoring a manor, we're creating a home for so many, just as it was always meant to be." With that shared vision, they both knew that Willow Creek Manor was not just a piece of history bound by sorrow, it was now a canvas for love, joy, and acceptance. An echo of the past intertwined with the promise of a brighter future. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in brilliant hues of orange and pink, their future began to glow with the warmth of what they had built, and what was yet to come.